Donovan counties. This is News Press Now, Morning Edition on Fox 26 KNPN.
President Obama talks to a comedian about a very serious topic. I'm Ainsley Earhart, and more of this story coming up.
And flooding is getting worse in Missouri as more storms roll through the state overnight. And they're still coming down this morning. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, August 7th. I'm Greg Miller.
And I'm Christian Johansson. You just saw that footage. That's in Missouri. Yesterday we talked about flooding in Kansas from what's known as a mesoscale convective complex. I know it's a big word and it's a little too technical, but there's no other way to call it besides an MCS. It's a very large system of thunderstorms that is moving through the area. And again, we saw that again today. Yesterday we had about 2 to 3 inches of rain in lots of parts down to our south. Outside right now we do have some showers to the south as well, some clouds. Winds not really a big issue here in town. 75 degrees outside, 73 in Halls, 73 in Avenue City and Falls City, 71 in Maryville. Atchison's at 69 degrees. Winds are calm at this time. We do have some storms out around the area, mostly to the south near like the agency area, so south of 229 where 229 and 29 meet. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit, but we do have rain chances this morning, but I think most of the stuff's going to stay to the south.
All right, something we'll watch for, Christian. Thanks a lot. A 50-year-old man was killed yesterday in a pickup truck crash. It happened just before 5 o'clock during the evening commute. The man lost control of his Chevy pickup while pulling a trailer of lumber on northbound I-229 between A Highway and 22nd Street. The man became stuck inside the vehicle after it rolled several times. Buchanan County Rural Fire Units arrived on scene to free the man. He was pronounced dead, though, at the scene.
The single occupant, one adult male, white male, was traveling northbound on 229 south of Missouri 752 and lost control of the vehicle, and the vehicle traveled off the right side of the roadway, overturned, and he was killed as a result of the crash.
Traffic was slowed on 229 for nearly an hour and a half while crews cleared the roadway. The cause of the crash is still under investigation this morning. The results are in. The St. Joseph's half-cent public safety tax has passed. The tax passed by 935 votes, with 56% of voters supporting the measure. Turnout was just over 17% for the single-issue election. With the passage, the combined city sales tax rate will rise to 8.2%. Money collected from the tax will increase salaries in the police, fire, and health departments. In addition, 15 police officers and 5 detectives will be hired, along with the purchase of new uniforms and vehicles for firefighters. For months now, public safety employees have been getting the word out about the safety tax. Neighborhood meetings and flyers, were held and flyers were distributed. And a citizens committee was even formed to help educate everybody about the need for this half-cent sales tax specifically marked for those reasons we had just mentioned. It was even a proposal even carried with it a sunset clause for accountability. Voters decided that the people that keep us safe apparently need to see how much we support them, and the leaders of the police and fire departments could not be happier.
I'm looking forward to seeing our employees because I know that they're elated with the support from our citizens.
Yeah, we actually are in the process of speccing out a new truck that we had in the CIP, and the good thing about this here is now we have a revenue source to buy additional trucks. So actually we're probably going to save money right off the bat because we're probably going to go after a deal to get the best, because we're going to be buying more than one vehicle.
Both chiefs say they're excited to greet their employees this morning with the good news and thank St. Joseph for all of their support. A 4-year-old boy is found dead inside a vehicle that had been washed away by floodwaters. The severe weather in Pulaski County, Missouri caused a fair amount of damage. Police say the rising waters caught many people off guard overnight Monday. Crews were able to rescue a number of other people caught by the rising waters, but one person is still missing as another vehicle was believed to have been swept away.
We have one individual that is not accounted for. We're still looking for. We have a dive team, a highway patrol dive team out at this time, using their expertise trying to locate that person who was the operator. We believe the operator of the vehicle, which the 4-year-old young boy was in.
The search for that missing person continues this morning as well. We've got some pop-up thunderstorms that have been coming through in the past hour or so. Let's go to Christian in the Weather Center and Storm Tracker 26.
Yeah, all that rain is coming from this system down to the south, and yeah, we saw this yesterday. We're seeing this again today, so a whole lot of rain here to already saturated ground, so that's why we're seeing all this flooding down to the south. And unfortunately, we might see another one of these develop into Kansas again tonight and move through the area. You can even see some more storms out into north central Kansas. So I think most of this stuff will move down to our south. It's getting pushed down by this cool front to the north. A little closer into the area, you can see what's going on here. We've actually had a few thunderstorms fire up over the last hour, but most of it is kind of at this northwest southeast angle here. It popped up just to the south of 229 and is continuing to move down to the south. Areas like Agency, Fawcett, and I think Dearborn are going to see some pretty good showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. And there's one more storm kind of just hanging out into Donovan County, but most of this stuff I think will continue to move to the south. We still have chances for rain though to see throughout, well, for the next few hours of the morning, I should say. 75 degrees outside right now, so it is humid out there as well. We're going to see our temperatures increase later on this afternoon to about 85 degrees. I think we'll see some sunshine. It will be humid again today. More rain chances in the forecast. I'll get to that in the full forecast. Greg?
All right, Christian, thanks. President Obama makes his first public comments about the terror threat that prompted a worldwide travel warning and the closures of dozens of U.S. diplomatic facilities. Fox News correspondent Ainsley Earhart has the story.
44th President of the United States, Barack Obama.
Late-night comic Jay Leno is usually known for his political humor, but on Tuesday, the focus wasn't on fun when he spoke with President Obama.
Hey, I got to ask you about this. Everyone is concerned about these embassy closings. Yeah. How significant is this threat?
Well, it's significant enough that we're taking every precaution.
The president making his first public comments about the threat 5 days after the State Department announced they were closing dozens of embassies and consulates throughout the Muslim world, citing specific and credible terror threats.
It's a reminder that for all the progress we've made, getting bin Laden, putting al-Qaeda between Afghanistan and Pakistan back on its heels, that this radical violent extremism is still out there.
Those closures were followed by a worldwide warning for all Americans traveling abroad. But President Obama says the public shouldn't give in to fear.
Terrorists depend on the idea that we're going to be terrorized, and we're going to live our lives, and the odds of people dying in a terrorist attack obviously are still a lot lower than in a car accident.
He says as president he tries not to overreact, and the American people shouldn't either.
The general rule is just show some common sense and some caution. So there are some countries where you're less likely to experience a terrorist attack. There's some where they're more dangerous.
The president wouldn't say whether the NSA surveillance program exposed by Edward Snowden helped reveal the embassy threat, but he defended the program as a critical component in fighting terrorism. In New York, Ainsley Earhart, Fox News.
Father of NSA leaker Edward Snowden could arrive in Moscow this week to see his son. That's according to a Russian lawyer for the younger Snowden. The lawyer says his client is just unwinding at the moment after spending a month in the Moscow airport. Russia's given Edward Snowden a year of asylum, and Snowden says he'll use the time to try to get a permanent address in Latin America. The Kremlin refuses to send him to the U.S. for prosecution, and for that reason, President Obama might cancel a meeting with Russian President Putin in Moscow next month.
A Southern California man reaches out to his missing daughter and begs a family friend to let her go. I'm Andrew Spencer, and coming up, I'll have the latest on the Amber Alert that is quickly turning into a nationwide manhunt.
Plus, Nidal Hassan's trial is now underway. He's acting as his own attorney, and he's talked about the shooting in court. The Morning Edition continues.